Hi, and welcome to tonight's live tutorial. Thank you for joining me. I hope you've all had a good week. I'm going to show you how to do a beautiful but very quick textured style tonight. This is a live tutorial, so the quality of the video isn't going to be quite as fabulous as it is when we do our HD tutorials, which we film regularly for our online training course and of course for our viewers here on YouTube. If you have any questions, thank you for joining me again, by the way. If you have any questions as we go through tonight's tutorial, please just type your questions into the chat box and my beautiful assistant just off camera will read your questions out to me. So it could be anything to do with tonight's hairstyle that we're going to create, or maybe just about hairstyling in general, hair prep, you know, different kinds of hairstyles, or just basically whether, you know, if you're maybe thinking about becoming a bridal hairstylist, or you just like doing hair for friends and family and you've got a few questions you want to ask, please just type your questions into the chat box and Adja will read out your questions for me and I'll do my best to answer them. So let's get going. Let's get started. So tonight's style is a beautiful, I think you may have seen the picture of the style, and I've done one on this other practice head here, but it's this lovely kind of textured low kind of bun. And we're going to do it on the blonde hair texture, on the blonde hair practice head today. I have already done some hair prep, and really the hair prep is key. It's key for a lot of different styles. And you might see a lot of people just going straight in and just styling the hair, but really it makes, they may well have done a lot of hair prep in advance, and it makes your job much easier if you take that little bit of time to get the hair prep right. And if, especially, you know, if you're doing somebody who's maybe going to a party or a special event, or especially if it's their wedding day, it's not about kind of speeding through the style. It's about taking your time, getting the hair prep just right, and then creating a gorgeous style that's going to stay in all through the day and into the evening. And really all that starts with your hair prep. So today, to prep the hair, we do have tutorials on hair prep on our online training course, and you can get information in the link in our bio page. But basically I have used the crimpers first of all to prep the hair, and I spent a good kind of 40 minutes working through the hair step by step with the crimpers, and I used a little bit of salt spray. So I have a couple of products that I like to use. This one is an urban salt spray, sea salt spray, sorry. And I also have another one that I love, a L'Oreal one, Technic Art Beachy spray. And that's another gorgeous salt spray, but really you could use any salt spray. And you'd be quite generous with it in the hair. So you're going to use the salt spray, you're going to use your crimpers, you could even use a little bit of setting lotion or stronghold hairspray at the root, just to help you get a little bit more oomph. And as I say, if you're not sure how to do that, then please check out our e-learning course. But in today's tutorial, we're going to cover how to create these beautiful piecey textured styles, but it does all start with the hair prep. So what I've done first of all, after I prep the hair and it's just all been crimped, and it actually feels quite dry and salty, like she's been swimming in the sea, but that's the kind of feeling that we want in the hair. It will look quite matte, but you can always bring the shine back by using a little bit of a spray wax, and this one is one of my favorite. It's a Big Sexy Hair product. Again, we'll have the link in the information for you. So this is a Big Sexy Hair product. They do a wax and a spray clay. So if you want to keep the kind of matte look, the spray clay is the one to go for. But if you want to get a little bit of shine back in the hair, then I'd go for something like the spray wax. Okay, and basically what you're going to do, let me move these things out of the way. So what you're going to do, you're going to go through the hair section by section. I've already done this at the back, so we could save a bit of time on the hair prep for you. But I'm going to show you what to do on these top sections here. And you can see we've got all these kind of chunky kind of sections of hair that are intentional. So it might look like she's kind of been dragged through a hedge backwards, or she hasn't brushed her hair for a while, but actually that's what we want to achieve. So you're going to pick up chunky sections of hair, and you can be quite ad hoc with this, don't be too kind of precise. So pick up your chunky sections and just put a little bit of back combing in, and the hair should back comb really easily. Now you've got all the crimping and the product in there. So a little bit of back combing, and then you can either use a bit of your spray wax, give it a good shake first. So a little bit of spray wax, or you could do both, because you spray wax. I'm also going to use a little bit of this kind of styling cream, which isn't just like a regular curl cream. It's almost, it's got a bit of kind of holding power to it. So it will help to hold. Let me just make sure I've got rid of any visible back combing. That's it. So you're just going to smooth that over the hair and leave it like that. So let's get another chunky section. Bit of back combing. Not quite as much maybe on the top sections here, because it is going to be visible. But if you feel you need a little bit more, maybe if you want your sections to stand a little bit more kind of proud, you could put a little bit more back combing in. Another great product you could use in when you're creating these styles on a person would be a little bit of the texturizing powder. So I've got my wax on there and a little smear of the cream. So make sure you you don't need too much of the cream. You don't want a big clump of it on the hair. That's it. So it kind of holds in these kind of chunky shapes. But if I was working on a person, I wouldn't put this in my practice head, but this is another big sexy hair product, one that I love. And there's another one as well called Puff Me, a really good texturizing powder. And you can use the texturizing powder in the hair. The big sexy hair powder play is great, because it doesn't matter what color hair, it just disappears, and so it's clear. But sometimes you can get them and they can be a little bit chalky. So if you put it in maybe my color hair, it might look a little bit gray. But it will give you great staying power in these sections. So if you want to get them really kind of slicey kind of and thin like that, you'll be able to achieve that better if you put your texturizing powder in there. But there's a big but. I wouldn't use this on a practice head, because it's really, really difficult to get out again. So, and really for your practice heads, usually the hair on the practice heads, once you've used it a few times, once you've worked with it a few times, it might be soft when you first buy it, but it doesn't take long. You know, this hair has had a lot of kind of chemical treatments on it. And by the time you've done the texturizing with your crimpers and you've got your salt spray on it, the hair will be quite dry, which is essentially what you want. But if you're working with somebody who had very fine, soft, silky hair or thick, heavy hair, then the texturizing powders are great. One other word of caution is if somebody were to show you this style and they wanted it for a trial run, you know, if you're working as a hairstylist already, or maybe you're thinking about becoming a hairstylist, you could have a look at our online training course where you can get a qualification and work step by step if you're on lockdown, you can maybe get yourself all ready to start your new career and learn something new whilst you're at home. But if you were doing a trial run for somebody and you were, they showed you one of these styles, I would avoid using your texturizing powder, because if she doesn't like the style, then you're kind of stuck. Once you've got this product in there, it's really hard to take it out and try a different style. So it's not ideal when you're doing a trial run. But you can get lots of help on what to do on a trial on our e-learning course. So I think we may have a few of our live students joining me, our online students joining us tonight. So welcome. We're going to have this style in full on our, from start to finish on our e-learning course. So if you're not sure of anything I'm doing, just put a little message in the chat box or send us a message afterwards and we'll send you more information. So we've got our different sections here, lots of different piecey sections, and you could also do the side bits as well. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of start creating a little bit of a kind of woven effect. Now, let me turn her around for you. That's it. So it doesn't matter too much underneath here what we do, but we're going to start off with a little twist in that hair there. I mean, it doesn't matter, but the top ones are going to be more visible. And so I'm just picking up one section, putting a little twist in there, and just using a hairpin to prop that in position. And then as we build up, I might even do another one here and pop that into position. And I'm using the pin just kind of, if this were a person, it would just be under the occiput at the back of the head. So just where the hair, the shape of the head curves under. You could use a bobby pin here if you wanted to, just to help you give a little anchor for your hairpin, whatever makes it easier for you. And just keep going, working with your sections. However, I will say, let's just keep going here. You can kind of be quite quick with these sections. I'm going to now go back to the middle here. A little twist. You could twist and pull a little bit, especially maybe if she's got quite fine hair, to make it, and you'll find it'll make it look a little bit thicker. If you do too many really small sections here, it can end up looking a little bit messy, so avoid doing that. And what we're going to do is we're going to do another twist here. So once you've done that prep, it's actually quite quick to do the rest of the style. Another little prop there. And then you want to work one side at a time. So we get this nice kind of braided effect. Little twist, bring it in, loosen. Now I am working, you probably know if you've watched me when I do these tutorials live online, I'm always standing to the side so that you can see what I'm doing, and the styles invariably end up a little bit kind of lopsided. So don't worry about that. You need to stand in the right position. I'm also working with a mirror, just off camera here. So if you can see me looking to the side, I'm just checking the style in a mirror here. So I'm working one side at a time. So you end up with this nice kind of braided effect. Sit and pull and bring it down. And I find that working with a mirror actually makes such a big difference when you're creating your styles, because it allows you kind of to it's almost like taking a step back and you can see the style from different angles. So another little twist here. So bringing them all over, just one at a time from each side. Little twist, you can have a little pull. And because we've got all that lovely kind of product and crimping in the hair, it holds its position. Now I think I'm probably not quite center, but I'm going to keep going. Let's have a look. Another piece of hair here. So we're going to leave the front sections down, because even when people show you a style, so I might twist this a little bit higher up. when people show you a style that they want to choose for their wedding day, what we need to remember as well as hairstylists, and even if you're doing your own hair, is you're not going to try to replicate that style exactly as it is, because we need to adapt. One of the skills of being really good at hair is being able to adapt the style so it can suit different face shapes. So, you know, if somebody's got kind of a thin face or a fat face or big ears or small ears or a very thin, you know, very wide face, then we need that hairstyle has to suit that person. So usually I find by working with these side sections here and deciding how much hair you're going to bring back, whether you're going to bring it back quite tight or quite loose or soft over the ear, will all be dictated by your client's face shape or your face shape if you're doing your own hair. So that's where, if you're working with clients, that's where having the mirror is invaluable, because it just means that your client can let you know what she or he likes or doesn't like. Now, what I'm going to start doing now, because we've got quite a lot of hair at the back here, so I'm going to just use some bobby pins and just grip this across the back here. So I'm kind of securing all the hair in position. So although it looks really soft, it's actually really secure. That's it. Now you can, even if you want to, you can push these in, some of these pins, if you feel it helps. Sometimes it does help, that's it, to secure everything. That's better. But make sure they're going to be hidden if you're going to do that. That's it. I think I'll take that one out. And believe it or not, we're actually already there. So we're nearly there. The style is nearly finished. So again, if you are interested in learning how to create lots of different beautiful hairstyles, we've got our online course that's available, so you can learn whilst you're at home. A bit of hairspray, just make sure these little bits are just how we want them to be. Bring this side section round, maybe leave a few little bits down. Maybe put a twist in there. And we can, that's it. And don't forget, please like and subscribe if you're enjoying this tutorial, or maybe you're watching us on catch up, and let me know what you'd like to learn next. So I'll bring a little bit more hair forwards. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the front sections. Let's have a look whether she needs a little bit more hair down. We don't need to spend a lot of time on the front sections really, because it's such a, with all this gorgeous prep, doesn't take a lot of that. Sit lovely. We just need to put a little bit of a curl in those bits that are down. That's it. Bring that back. And we're almost there. And then at the back here, you then have, I'm just going to use a bobby pin to secure the end here in position, making sure I'm happy with the shape of it at the front. Pop those tongs on, ready to curl. And then at the back, you know, there are lots of different things here. We have tutorials on creating lovely little knots. You could do a little roll in the hair and create a nice little kind of twisted, a little roll bun, a little roll, a soft roll at the back of the hair here. But I think what I'm going to do for this one is just smooth. I don't think she needs very much back combing in here, but if I was working with somebody who had quite fine hair, I would certainly put a little bit of back combing in there. I'm going to do a little twist, a little pull, just to get a little bit of texture and movement here. And another hairpin. Oh, we've got a question.
Yes. Jennifer asks, is there any other way to prep the hair than using crimps?
Yes, you could. You could get some, you need to get some texture in the hair. So you can blow dry the hair. You can use, I'm just going to put a grip on here to push this back, but you could put some mousse at the root of the hair. Go section by section. I've just put a grip at the back here because I want to hold it kind of close to the nape of the neck before I twist. So you can use mousse, which you would use at the root of the hair, section at a time, and some salt spray on the mid-lengths and ends, and then you can blow dry the hair. Be nice and generous with your mousse. Let me just brush this a bit more so the back combing isn't showing. And then you'll find you'll get that lovely kind of dryness to the hair, that roughness to the hair that you're looking for. So if you don't have any crimpers, you can definitely use your texture hair prep with the mousse and the salt spray and blow dry the hair a section at a time. You won't get quite as much root lift as we get with the crimpers, but you will still get lots of lovely root lift, especially if you blow dry it, if you over direct the hair when you're blow drying. Just going to lift this a little bit up here. That's it. I'm going to do this quite quickly. That's it. So yeah, you don't have to crimp the hair for sure. And then this bit I'm going to bring over to the other side. Let me lose this little end here first of all. So certainly blow drying is a great option, but you would still need to use your salt spray. And as I say, the mousse, you'll find the mousse will just help to give it a little bit more hold at the root. It will be better than the salt spray to get that hold at the root, and so you can hold that root lift. That's it. Push that one over there. Then we're going to get rid of some of our pins. Let's get rid of this little end here. We don't want that bit sticking out. So just pop a little grip around, bobby pin around there and push that in. That's it. And then we can twist this one. Just have a little play and see which way you want to twist it, which way looks best. Let's try clockwise first and see. Do a little twist and pull. Might need a little bit of spray wax on here, I think. That's better. And then little twist, little pull, but have a little play around because we've got some really pretty kind of knotted styles on the e-learning site, and I think one of those kind of knotted little buns at the back here would look really pretty with this little kind of crisscross. It's not braiding, but it's that kind of braiding effect. Bobby pin on. Now, it's not easy on these, on the webcam, on the live tutorials to show close up exactly what I'm doing step by step. That's it. But hopefully you can get an idea of the style that I'm creating here. And she is a bit lopsided. I can see that here because I'm kind of standing to one side, but let me turn her this way a little bit more and you might see a bit better. So whenever you're creating your hairstyles, don't stand to one side because it's never easy. A little bit of a stronghold hairspray. You can either pop those pins in or you can take them out, but she's definitely over towards me. You can see that she looks great here, but it's a bit too long over there. You can take the pins out if you want, you can push them in, and then we can put a little curl in the hair, and our style is done. Just do a little bit of a curl here. So I've crimped all the way through the hair. We've got another question.
Lucy wants to know if she can use courses for part of her insurance.
Depending on the country that you live in, you can, so we have two options with the online training course. We have a monthly version where you can join and you pay monthly to be a member. And there you get to, we have coursework on there, but you don't get to sit your exams. So in order to get the insurance, you need to do the actual course, which is it's about 80 hours work, and we cover all different sorts of hair prep. We cover hairstyling for long, short, different hair lengths, different hair types. So we have very fine, thin, heavy, thick, heavy hair. We have curly girl tutorials, so working with curly hair like mine, and afro hair tutorials. So we cover every hair type. And you get to sit your exams. And once you've sat your exams and I mark the work, you send your images into me. Then once you get your certificate, we have a Habia endorsed certificate that you are awarded once you graduate. And with that certificate, you can get insurance, certainly in the UK, but you'd need to check. If you're not in the UK, then you'd need to check with your insurers. But certainly here in the UK, the certificate will enable you to get your professional indemnity insurance. So yeah, so here we are. I think she looks better on this side because there she's kind of, well, I need to have another person standing on the other side there, but I think she looks kind of gorgeous from this side here. So you can keep on working with this. You could kind of pull out a little bit more of the pieces to make it a little bit more kind of airy and light. But we've got our very quick, this is one that I created earlier that I did stand at the back of. So she's a little bit more even on this one. So yeah, just one I made earlier so you could have a look. But thank you for joining me. And I hope you've enjoyed the tutorial. Please don't forget to subscribe and like, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you'll know when our next live tutorial is going to be available. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care. Thanks for joining me. Bye. Stay safe out there.